Welcome to the AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown. We'll guide you through the biggest news of the day. Our focus, advocating our rights, advocating health, and advocating Earth. Here's our pick for number 4.
Known infamously as the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski was serving 8 life sentences for a 17-year deadly reign of terror when he died Saturday. Prison officials tell CNN the ailing 81-year-old was found unresponsive in a cell overnight. His cause of death, not yet released. In December 2021, Kaczynski was transferred to a federal medical facility in Butner, North Carolina, used to house inmates with health conditions.
I think it's very important for transparency reasons to fully understand the circumstances around the death, but I would caution speculation at this point. We don't really have any reason to believe anything untoward happened here just yet.
Andrew McCabe is a former FBI deputy director who was with the Bureau as agents closed the Unabomber case. It was in 1978 when Kaczynski started his campaign of violence by leaving a mail bomb in a parking lot at a Chicago university. He would go on to plant explosives on an airplane, university buildings, and by computer stores. He also mailed powerful bombs to university professors and business executives. By the time he was arrested in 1996, his 16 devices killed 3 innocent people and injured 23 others. His own words, published in a manifesto, were what eventually led FBI agents to his off-the-grid primitive cabin in the woods of Montana, tipped off by Kaczynski's own brother.
He pursued this bombing campaign as a way of striking back against technological advancement, which he believed was damaging the environment in ways that needed to be stopped.
Before becoming prolific bomber, Kaczynski was a high school honor student in Illinois who enrolled at Harvard at just 16. It was during his college years that Kaczynski took a dark turn, recalled his brother.
Ted was withdrawing. There wasn't the desire to come home and enjoy the family.
As part of a deal with prosecutors to dodge the death penalty, Kaczynski admitted to the bombings and was sent to Colorado's Supermax prison where he remained until his medical transfer. At the time of Kaczynski's 1998 sentencing, the widow of victim Jill Murray wrote, "He will never, ever kill again."
TheAdvocateChannel.com looks at the world through the lens of equality and inclusion. Subscribe, like, and share now. AC 24/7's Top Story Countdown continues with our producer's pick for number 3.
The 4 Indigenous children that were rescued on Friday after spending more than 5 weeks in the Colombian Amazon have spent the night and the early hours of Saturday in the Central Military Hospital just behind my back. We know that their families are with them, their father and the grandparents, and on Saturday the President of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, came personally to this hospital to meet and greet them. The grandfather also said that he expects his grandchildren to stay in the hospital for the upcoming weeks as they receive both psychological and physical treatment, and of course trying to understand how that experience, that we can only imagine how horrible it was, affected them. Just as a reminder, they're very incredibly young children. The youngest of them, Christine, passed her first birthday in the middle of the jungle. She turned 1 only a couple of weeks ago, and finally yesterday they were able to see their relatives again.
Like the Advocate channel on Facebook for the best way to get updates on stories that advocate for equality, justice, our rights, and more. AC 24/7 continues with today's top 2 pick.
People driving in southeast Pennsylvania will need to have a lot of patience and maybe an extra audiobook.
At the moment, okay, this is just, a normal bump, a normal little brush fire.
It was anything but a brush fire. On Sunday morning, a tanker truck carrying a petroleum-based product caught fire under the highway on Interstate 95 in Philadelphia, causing part of the bridge to collapse, officials say. Mark Fusetti captured this smoke-filled footage as he drove over the other side of the bridge.
I thought, okay, maybe this is just the construction part. I didn't think for a second that the road under me was collapsing, and that part of the highway will have to be replaced too.
Officials have started putting detours into place.
We're also looking at interim solutions to connect both sides of I-95 to get traffic through the area.
Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney says the fire is under control and, in a tweet, advised commuters to, quote, plan for alternate routes or modes of travel. Pennsylvania officials say traffic in the area is expected to be affected for months.
The rebuilding of I-95 is going to be a massive project. And until that happens, you are literally going to have millions of people in what is one of the largest population centers in the country impacted in a significant way.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Follow the Advocate channel on Twitter and Instagram to stay updated on stories that matter every day. Here's our #1 story of the day. Take a look.
Former President Donald Trump, unapologetic and on the attack.
Jackson sounds so innocent. He's deranged. This is a political hit job.
Georgia's GOP convention marking Trump's first public appearance after becoming the first former president to face federal charges.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
Special counsel Jack Smith announcing 37 criminal counts against Trump, the majority for violations of the Espionage Act.
Doesn't matter to me. Not at all.
Outside the state convention, his supporters are unfazed.
I think it's a bunch of bull. Trump ain't done that wrong thing. Trump done is saved this country.
They're not going to let it stop. They can't stand the fact that he's running for president. And I am a Donald Trump fan.
It's probably altered, but it's just typical liberal propaganda.
None of the Republican voters CNN spoke with had read the indictment.
No, I wouldn't waste my time on a phony indictment. I don't care about the indictment. You could indict a bologna sandwich.
These loyalists share a deep sense of distrust against perceived opponents of Trump, including the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the press. Supporters routinely brought up President Joe Biden, former Vice President Mike Pence, and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. All had sensitive materials in their possession while out of public office. One big difference, Trump and his aide, Wal Nauta, face nearly a half dozen charges related to obstruction and concealment of documents, including for allegedly suggesting to his lawyers to not cooperate with a grand jury subpoena.
In this whole fake indictment, they don't even once mention the Presidential Records Act.
The indictment outlines 2 different occasions Trump allegedly showed classified documents to unauthorized people. And in 2021, Trump admitted on tape to having secret documents that he hadn't declassified, according to the indictment. As president, I could have declassified, but now I can't, Trump said, according to the transcript of the audio obtained by CNN. There's an audio recording of him doing so.
We know that can be changed. We know that can be altered.
Within the 49-page indictment, pictures showing boxes of classified documents stacked high in a Mar-a-Lago bathroom, ballroom, office space, and elsewhere.
What he did is incorrect, absolutely incorrect. But the system allowed it to happen. The system is broken. It needs to be fixed.
The convention also drew a handful of anti-Trump protesters, co-opting one of his most popular catchphrases in this quick moment of tension.
Your servant. Lock you up. Yeah, you had. You support Hillary Clinton. She done a lot wrong. You're an idiot.
Ultimately, these Trump supporters could not point to any piece of evidence that would cause their support to waver.
I think Trump is the best president we've ever had, and I'm all about getting him reelected.
Thanks for watching the Advocate Channel's top stories. We're on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Follow, like, and share, or check out advocatechannel.com for even more stories that advocate for you.